Hi everybody and welcome to today's reading. It's a requested reading on the coronavirus, COVID-19. So a few people have asked me about this. So I pulled a few cards regarding a few questions on the virus. I'm actually here in Ireland at the moment and we're in a semi-lockdown position. So that means that schools, colleges, all that are closed and they're asking people not to go out unless they really have to. So there's a lot of fear and panic as well here at the moment, which isn't helped by the media, might I add. But of course we all have to do what we should do to stop the virus from spreading. But we really have to step back from the fear as well, because that can nearly cause as much problems as the virus itself. So, and to remember that there's still loads of regular viruses out there. You know, anyone now that's getting a cough or cold are really, really concerned they have the virus. Of course, you take what precautions your authorities are asking you to take, but bear in mind that there's still the regular flus there, the regular colds. And, fear can really affect your immune system as well. So you need to be boosting your immune system, not trying to bring it down any further than it needs to be. So just look after yourselves and look after each other. And that's the main thing, really, in any of these situations. Okay, so, well, I'll get on with the reading. So I've pulled 3 piles of cards. The first one in relation to the question I was asking was, what's the situation in the world at the moment regarding the coronavirus, COVID-19? And this one is, will it be stopped or will it decrease within the next, in the near future, next 6 months, say. Third pile, what will be the outcome for the world after this acute phase is passed? What will be the effect it will have had on us all? Okay, so you have to excuse me, I'm a little croaky at the moment. I have a bit of a sinus thing going, so not the virus, just plain old sinuses. So so we'll get started. So what's the situation in the world at the moment regarding the coronavirus? I've pulled some tarot cards and also a few oracle cards. So we have the Hierophant, we have the Emperor in reverse, we have Justice, we have the Tower, Page of Wands, and then we have Potential, Flow, and Power. Okay, now I'll just move the camera down a little so you can see all those cards. Okay, so what's the energy surrounding the virus in the world at the moment? What's going on? Right, well, we have, out of the 5 tarot cards, 4 of them are major arcana, so we are talking major energies here, which I suppose goes without saying. What's interesting is we have the Emperor in reverse. Okay, so this says to me, and it's gas, this guy is sitting on looks like a globe. The world represents the world. It's almost, the Emperor in reverse can represent corruption, or kind of like, well, it could be abuse of power, but very much a controlling power, not a very benevolent power. So I'm getting that what this virus is serious, of course, but there is also an agenda behind it as well that we're not aware of. Something else is going on. And we have the Hierophant beside it, which represents institutions. So it's almost like saying that there is some sort of other agenda going on with the institutions that rule us. Now, having said that, that's probably true in nearly every situation or every pandemic or any major situation. There's always alternative agendas behind it. But this situation is no different. What is different about this situation is we have the Tower card. This situation is a trigger for us all in many ways. Obviously, there's a lot of fear out there, but I think it's really, it's a trigger point for everybody. It's like things will never go back to the way they were after this virus. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or anything. No, in fact, I think this is going to be a good thing. It's going to make us really question how we act, how we want to move forward, because we have the Justice card, which is lovely to see there. This Justice card, she's surrounded by this type of corrupt power and all this kind of chaotic energy, but in the middle there's this balance. It's almost like this virus has been a trigger for us all, and it's really a wake-up call for us to really dig deep, look within ourselves and ask ourselves, how do we act in a time of crisis like this? It's asking us to act in a positive, meaningful way moving forward, not just do the best for ourselves. And when I say do the best for yourself, that's not necessarily going out panic buying and, you know, leaving everyone else without food. That's because that doesn't help anyone in the long run. This is about doing, if you respect yourself, do what's respectful towards yourself, you will automatically do it towards others as well. It's asking us to really dig deep, step out of the fear, and I suppose act in a loving manner going forward. Not always easy when there's a lot of fear out there. And there certainly is surrounding this virus. But, I mean, we have the Hierophant. This card, I mean, it represents institutions, but it also means spiritual awakening as well in this deck. And I really think that this virus is a trigger for us all to really, and even for the institutions, because underneath that, the Emperor in reverse, we have the potential card. So it's almost like we have the potential now. This card is about us standing in our power. We can change the same old dynamic, the old dynamic of being ruled by people in power that really don't always act in our own best interests. You know, they act in their own best interests. And if it happens to be in our best interest, great. But, you know, that's not always the way it's been. This is going to change things. This virus, it just happens to be a virus. It could have been something else, but it happens to be this virus. This is going to change the way we think and act. And I think it will be a positive, because these are positive cards here. It's saying now's the time for us to step into our potential. No longer allow ourselves to be dictated to in manner which doesn't suit us. Because the other thing about this card is as well, I think however the virus happened to come about in the first place, I think it's something to do as well with maybe not corrupt institutions, but power, you know, controlling power that doesn't serve us. So however that virus came about, I think it's something to do with this as well. So it's time people kind of nearly wake up and realise that we have to start acting in our own best interests. And I don't mean that in a selfish sense, I mean in a genuine way of self-respect, because we have the flow card here as well. And this is saying, ironically, it's saying step out of any fear in a situation, go with the flow, but step out of the fear, see what you need to do, what your next step is in a positive, meaningful way. And the power card, and we have the lightning, and we have the lightning and the tower card, so very powerful energies. But this is very positive. It's saying now is the time to step into your power. So it's almost like this virus, the virus itself is powerful in what it can do. In terms of being a coronavirus, it's quite an aggressive, powerful form of it. But the dynamic around the virus is powerful as well. We have these institutions hiding things from us, whatever the agendas are. A lot of power, and almost like a struggle for power within the whole thing. The virus itself, I mean, it infects its host, and it's really trying to reproduce and replicate itself. That's a power struggle as well. So as is the host trying to fight it off. But it's saying that we can do that. Either we can fight the virus, and we can fight any other agendas that are behind it. But we really have to step into power, which means step out of fear. Not always easy when you have media sending out a fearful message every moment of the day. But we are in charge of our own lives, and we just do what we have to do. In terms of this virus, we do what we need to do to contain it, to stop the spread of it. And if we do catch some sort of symptom, not to totally panic. Even if it is the COVID-19, most people come out of it fine. Obviously, if you're in the at-risk group, you need to take, you need to do what you need to do, take immediate action. I know here they're asking people not to approach hospitals or anything like that, that if they actually think they have the virus, to ring their GPs, and their GP will, arrange to see them. And not to ring the emergency services, because apparently here everyone's been ringing the ambulance and all the emergency services if they get a sore throat or a sniffly nose, because they're worried, they're fearful, but that's not helping the actual genuine cases. So, and I understand that. So step out of the fear, step into your power. That's what this is saying. And because this pandemic is really playing on our fears, and rightly so in a way, but it's something that we can learn from. But the good thing is we have the Page of Wands anyway, and the Page of Wands is a card of brainstorming and coming up with creative ideas. So people are working on a cure or vaccine. The cure might, as in the treatment, might come before the vaccine from what I hear, but I'm not sure about that. But it's good. And this is a positive card, and it's saying that if we can, as I said, let go of the fear, we can put more energy into addressing the issue in a positive manner. Yeah. So I suppose that's, in terms of the general situation in the world, step out of fear and step into your power is seems to be the message here. So so we'll look at the next one. Next question is, will it be stopped in the near future? Okay guys, so the cards for will the virus be stopped in the coming, say, 3 to 6 months. So we have the King of Wands, 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords, the Chariot, and Strength. And to clarify those, we have the Oracle, we have Patience, Stillness, and Security. Okay, so what's going to happen with this virus in, say, 3 to 6 months' time? Well, we have some very positive cards here and a couple not so positive. So things are looking good. So I definitely think that within, in the short term at least, it is going to start reducing and things will look a lot better. We have the King of Wands energy. Now this is wonderful. So, and we have the line in the background. The line is all about protection. So I believe that's something, definitely the virus will be tackled. And you can see the strength in this person's face. And I think this person may even represent institutions or businesses that come together and work on finding a cure or a treatment of some description. But it's definitely, there's strength here for moving forward. And I think, we're going to see a reduction in the virus in the short term. And we have the fire there. And of course, I know the virus doesn't like heat. But so I would say yes, things are looking up. Things are going to improve there. Now, and we have the Chariot card, and in between we have the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. Now these aren't always the most positive of cards, so I get the feeling that things will really improve, but there may be it's a bit like 3 steps forward, 1 step back. So there may be the odd glitch, and it could be maybe a spike in cases again, but that it seems to be only temporary if that's the case. Or, because this is the card of disappointment, and underneath it we have the card of patience. So it's kind of saying we have to have patience with the process. It may not go the way we would expect it to go, but just to go with it and back away from the fear. Because we have the 3 of Swords as well, and look at this person seems to be in distress. It can be about loss or betrayal. So I think as well, something may come to light, in the near future about the virus that will kind of shock people. Now it may not be about the virus per se, but the energy surrounding it, and maybe it's something to do with what I mentioned before about corruption in the previous reading, say, or the previous question. So, but we have the Stillness card underneath it. So whatever this is, don't get into fear. It will be maybe tempting. It's saying, we have the Stillness card. It's almost the complete opposite to this card. It's saying, don't get into fear. Just withdraw from all that. Be still. Because there's no point in getting traumatizing yourself about it unnecessarily. Now maybe there might be a little bit of grief involved. That's fine. But don't traumatize yourself. Come back to yourself. be silent and be still within yourself. Don't let the fear get a grip. Because the wonderful thing is we have the 7, the Chariot. And this is all about harnessing, getting the better of the challenges, coming out on top. And literally, it's a victory card, really. It's saying everything is going to be fine. You're going to use these challenges and you're still going to move forward, and you're going to get the result that you want. So I've no doubt that things are going to go in the right direction. As I said, there may be a few hiccups along the way, but then I suppose things are never that smooth, really. But to remain positive, because we have the Strength card, and it's kind of saying we're going to get there, and we, just find your inner strength as well, of course. And here again we have animals. We have the lion, and oh gosh, is that a little baby goat, a kid, or a lamb? Gosh, apologies for those that know their animals. But either way, we have animals, and of course animals were tied to the outbreak in the first place, so maybe animals are going to be the key to the treatment or the cure for this virus. Yeah, and also it's a reminder, I think, for us to start respecting our animals. We may not respect them that much, but yeah, but we're strong. It's saying that we're strong enough. We can come through this, and we will come through this, because the best thing is we have the security card here, and this security card is a card of protection, and saying you're protected. Things are going to be okay. Things are better than you think, actually. So it's saying, don't panic again. And we have the fire again. So, yeah. And maybe because we're obviously here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're coming out of the winter, spring season, hopefully moving into warm weather. So that will help combat it, I hope. But yeah, but it looks good. There again, we got to step away from any fear. But it looks like things are going to improve. We may not stop the virus within 6 months. I think the time frame is going to be pushed out because of the patience card. It's not going to be exactly the way we want it, but it's definitely going to improve. Things are going to be a lot better. And yeah, so guys, don't worry too much about it. Just remain positive. Okay. And so the third question is, when we come through this crisis, what will the effect have been on the global community? Okay, where will we be? And the cards are the 3 of Cups, 8 of Wands, Ace of Cups, the Empress, 4 of Wands, very nice, Focus, Forgiveness, and Adventures. Wow guys, I have to say, these are lovely cards. I didn't quite expect these, but they're very positive cards. So what will the effect of the virus be on humanity? Well, 3 of Cups, community. We're going to be a closer community. We're definitely going to be a closer community, supportive and loving, and not just, paying lip service to that, but genuine, a genuine movement towards that. Because we have the 8 of Wands, and that's about good news. It's about movement. It's about getting things done. So it's like we suddenly realise that we literally are a global community, and that we can't just pay lip service to help one another. It's in all our best interest to actually help one another. And we have the Ace of Cups. I mean, talks about a new beginning for new connections, genuine, deep connections, sowing the seeds of hope and love, because it's a cup, so it's all about love. So yeah, it's like, wow. So definitely there'll be a new community. Yeah, and we have the Empress card, and she embodies all the queens, of course, in the tarot. And look at her there, she's got a pregnant belly on her, and that's like the globe. It's like the earth. It's almost like there's a new she's about to give birth to a new world, a new earth, new humanity, and it will be beautiful, because look at the card beneath it, the Adventures card. And look at how lush this card is compared to the other oracle cards. We have this beautiful green nature with the birds and the wildlife and the water, and of course the waterfall here, that can represent spiritual growth as well. So it's like we'll be in a new phase of humanity. It's about leaving behind things that no longer work and moving forward. Now that doesn't mean to say it's all going to change overnight, absolutely not. Of course we have the Ace of Cups, so it's a beginning in that direction. But it's saying that this new start, you know, it'll bring in adventures as well, as in it's asking us just to find the good, to find the, you know, even in things that seem mundane or boring, just find the beauty in it. Because we have the forgiveness card here, so it's asking us to let go of things that we no longer need, that's holding us back from moving forward, you know. And it could be old bad habits or whatever it is that's stopping us from moving forward in a positive way. So forgiving, it's more about forgiving yourself. Now maybe it can talk about forgiveness between nations for whatever's gone on, and that will have to be worked on, of course, in a meaningful manner. And maybe the Ace of Cups donates a start to that, so nations can actually start talking to each other in a respectful manner, meaningful manner. Because we have the Focus card as well, so, and it's beneath the Eight of Wands, so it's saying we all really have to start focusing now on where we want to go. Not just, oh, the virus is finished now and grand, that's finished, let's move on to something else. No, I think, and that might mean putting pressure on our governments, our leaders, to do the right thing in terms of supporting everybody, looking out for everybody. We look out for ourselves, but by looking out for everyone else, we're looking out for ourselves as well. And this card, this Focus card, is also about spiritual growth and spiritual renewal. So it's almost like the changes that are going to come in, it's like humanity will have, it's almost like we'll have matured. I have to say, when I look at these cards, the cynical part to me is kind of going, wow, really? Is this really going to happen? But yes, really, this can happen. This is very real, and this is probably the lessons we need to take from the virus, because we hear so much negativity in the news, at least here we do, and about people panic buying and all that kind of thing, but yet we don't hear of all the wonderful work that people are doing, you know, frontline medical staff, and also people that are the ordinary people that are going out there looking out for people, that vulnerable people that may be living on their own, and there's a lot of that happening, and we don't really see it. So, and maybe that's the start we're talking about here, that we all need to just do our own thing, do our own bit to help people around us that need that, people better off than ourselves in various ways. And maybe that's the start, and that's something we can work on, because we have the Four of Wands card, and this is the card of celebration and the card of stability, and of course the card of marriage and commitment. So it's almost like saying the global community will grow into a new phase of commitment towards one another. Wouldn't that be nice? But hey guys, it's all there. So we really have to decide, is this the road we want to go down on, and I presume it is, because it gives us all great hope. So something wonderful will have come out of this virus, you know. And 2020 is the year of great change, so this could be it, guys. It's up to us anyway how we proceed through the virus, you know, how we act towards one another and how we act going forward. So just look after each other, look after yourself and look after each other. And well, I hope you like this reading, and if you do, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.